Welcome to the channel, everybody. So it's time to go over another guide video on how to complete 8.1.3. We are moving through Act 8 so that we can get closer to that Valiant title. I know everybody is excited now that 8.4 is out. And if you've recently completed Act 7, or if you did it long after the time that 8.4 came out, I know you're excited to go ahead and move on to Act 8 so that we can go ahead and move closer to that Valiant title. So let's go ahead and get in here and take a look at what you're going to be facing on the path and what you should expect from the boss so that we can go ahead and get you one more step closer to that Valiant title. So real quick here, let's go ahead and take a look at the team that I did bring in for this level. I will also suggest that a good alternative would also be Hulkling. We'll talk about why that is here just shortly. The primary two for this level, Cosmic Ghost Rider and Angela. Now I brought in Odin for his pre-fight abilities, and I brought in Loki and Heimdall for support to go ahead and save me a few potions and revives. Now let's go ahead and get in and look at who you're going to be facing on the path and why I did go ahead and choose this team. Now the path that we're going to be taking here does start with Civil Warrior. Now with Precision Parry, the defender is stun immune while the attacker has one or more precision buffs on them. Whenever you parry the defender's attack, they will get a passive stun upon them for half a second per precision buff you have on you. Whenever that passive stun does expire, it removes all precision buffs off of you, allowing you to be able to stun the defender again. Next, you will have parry vulnerability. Each time you land a successful parry, you will gain a fury buff, increasing your attack rating by 75% for 1.5 seconds. Additionally, you will do an extra 200% damage if the defender is stunned. Pumping Iron. The defender takes 60% less damage as long as the attacker has no buffs. Now this is reduced by 20% for every buff you have on you. Now this is where, like I said, bringing in a Cosmic Ghost Rider with the Odin pre-fights on him does guarantee us that we're going to have more than 3 buffs on us at all times, so we don't have to deal with this whatsoever. But that's also why, like I said, bringing in someone like Hulkling who stacks up buffs quickly would also be a very good option for this. Now with a good defense node, every time you perform a parry randomly, you will put a debuff on the defender, either weakness, armor break, suppression, or disorient for 1.3 seconds. Now, also on the contrast of that, every time you actually perform a successful dex, you will also receive a random buff, fury, armor up, power gain, or the dangerous one for this particular path, precision, which will also last for 1.3 seconds. Do keep that in mind, so that when you are trying to parry or dex attacks, you are keeping in mind that you are going to be placing debuffs and or buffs upon the opponent or yourself, respectively. Now, as I said, the path does start off with Civil Warrior, followed by Gambit, followed by Ultron Classic. Then after that, you will go over to Storm, Pyramid X, Warlock, and finish up the path with Kingpin before proceeding on to the boss island. On the boss island, you are going to have the choice of 3 bosses, as is common for these later levels: Mr. Sinister, Psycho Man, or the one that we are choosing for this particular run, Diablo. With Diablo, he does have several nodes upon him. The first one being Biotic Adaptation Venom. Now what this does is anytime that you land a hit or even connect with him in any way, shape, or form, he has a 50% chance of putting a poison debuff on you. Now, this does not apply if he is suffering from shock. Also on top of that, because of this particular debuff, he is bleed and poison immune, basically. But if you do inflict bleed or poison upon him, he will take 100% less damage and will regenerate 1% of his max health per second until the bleed or poison wear off. You also have Clean Sweep, which does give you the ability that every time you knock down the defender, all debuffs upon yourself will be removed. After that, we also are looking at Riot. Now, the defender will start with an indefinite unblockable buff on him, but whenever you knock him down with a special attack, that unblockable will switch to an unstoppable. Now, if he's on the unstoppable, if you land a heavy upon him, that will switch that back to unblockable. Next, we do have the transducer node, which is going to increase your combat power by 60%. But on the flip side of it, it will drain your power bar by 1.1% every second. So throwing specials is going to take a little bit more for you, but it is still going to be possible. Finally, you do have shock vulnerability. And this is going to be the important one because the defender does take 200% extra damage while suffering from shock. Make sure that you are bringing in a champion who is going to be able to do shock consistently. We did choose to switch out to Black Widow Deadly Origin, but we'll talk about that more when we get to that fight. Now let's go ahead and get in and take a look at how the fights went along the path, and I'll be back to you for the boss. Now, as you guys could see, we didn't really have too many problems along the path. Probably should have went ahead and healed up a little bit more with Cosmic Ghost Rider before coming into the Kingpin fight, but obviously we get through it just fine. And I did have Angela on backup, and she does stack buffs as well very easily. So just having a couple champions that can consistently stack buffs, and like I said, using that Odin pre-fight can be very valuable and make this path very easy to get through. Now, this is where we do switch out to Black Widow Deadly Origin for the boss fight. Wanted a champion that I could consistently and easily stack shock debuffs with. And we go in without a problem here, and we're going to go ahead and get right straight through him. It's not going to be a clean fight, but it is going to be one that we do get through. Do have to be a little careful, like I said, you know, especially switching up between that unstoppable and that unblockable. You can see on that first fight there, we did make the mistake of switching out and getting caught on the unblockable there. You also do have to be careful if you do not have those shocks in place to make sure that you are making sure that you're being careful on how much you're touching him, because you are going to inflict poison upon yourself if you do not have those shock debuffs active. Now, this fight here did take us a few extra revives, but really, honestly, to be truthful with you, considering we didn't spend much on the path whatsoever, matter of fact, nothing at all, because Angela took care of the only fight we lost, a couple revives truly isn't that bad. And there you go, folks. We're on the last couple percent here, and you can see we got him down and got straight through it so that we could go ahead and finish this off and put another level in the books. Now, that does bring us through 8.1.3. We will be doing guide videos all the way through 8.4.6. And then we will be coming back and doing the exploration videos for all of these chapters. Just another one in the books. I hope this one truly helped you guys and get you another step closer to that Valiant title, as I am working towards it myself right now as we speak. So excited to be facing that final boss in Act 8. Once we get through that, we'll be going back through and visiting all the other chapters again so that we can 100% them. Because at the current moment, that is how I'm going to get my second rank 3/7 star to fill the other requirement of becoming Valiant. I hope this one truly did help you guys and makes it a lot easier for you to go ahead and keep pushing. Till the next one, guys, I hope everybody has a great day, a great night, and pulls God tier champions soon. Love you. Peace out.